Hello and welcome to this episode of the New Critic. Today we're going to be looking at the third installment in the Transformers film franchise, Transformers Dark of the Moon. It is the final installment in the original trilogy, and follows Sam Witwicky, played by Shia LaBeouf, as he joins the Autobots one last time in their ongoing battle against the Decepticons. They're on a mission to possess powerful technology from their home planet that crash-landed on Earth's moon before the Decepticons do so. Cast members new to the series include Leonard Nimoy, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, Patrick Dempsey, Ken Jeong, and John Malkovich, to name a few. Now before we go any further, whatever you may think of the previous film, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, everyone, including myself, can come to an agreement that Dark of the Moon is definitely better than Revenge of the Fallen. But since I enjoyed Revenge of the Fallen, I've come to the conclusion that I think Dark of the Moon is just as good. But it's also a satisfying conclusion to the original trilogy at the same time. First things first, I'm glad that there was more character development in the film, especially that of Sam's. He's planning to get a job at Accurate Systems, and this really impacts on his ego throughout the film. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Another character that I found interesting was not a human character, but an Autobot named Sentinel Prime. He was voiced by Leonard Nimoy. He's the former leader of the Autobots, and with regards to his character, something happens that was really unexpected. I won't talk about it because that would be a major spoiler, but it made him more interesting as a character. The acting is definitely an improvement upon Revenge of the Fallen, and it was good enough for the movie itself. But the voice cast behind the Transformers have always delivered great performances. Fans of Steve Jablonsky's music will definitely find something good in here. The action is definitely at its best here, even if Revenge of the Fallen's action sequences were very clunky. The visual effects, what's more to be said about them? They are good, they have been good, and they always will be good. The most obvious change in the film is the absence of Megan Fox, and instead she is replaced with Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, not playing the same character, but Sam's new girlfriend, Carly Spencer. The reason for this is that Megan Fox was fired from the Transformers film series due to comments she made about Michael Bay, comparing him to Hitler. While most critics are in agreement that Shia LaBeouf and Rosie Huntington-Whiteley's performances were ineffective, I think it worked for some reason. I mean, can you imagine Megan Fox in the movie instead of Rosie Huntington-Whiteley? How could that have worked? And when it comes to Michaela, that being Megan Fox's character from the previous films, it feels as if everything that can be done with her character has already been done. In fact, watching the movie made me forget about her character. So maybe that was the right thing to do. The stakes have definitely been raised in this film. And while I would have liked to see more space scenery with the Transformers on the moon, it still felt like an epic finale. The movie's tone is pretty much the same as the previous films. Was that a good idea? Yeah, why not? While the plot had some pretty interesting twists, beyond that, it was still pretty bloated and formulaic. The runtime clocked in at a ridiculous 154 minutes. That's over 2.5 hours, which is way too long, but it's the final chapter, so I guess it's fine. And of course, all the common cliches of Michael Bay movies, which are the worst aspects of every Michael Bay movie ever made. The excessive product placement, the patriotism, the sexualized female characters / one-dimensional female characters. I don't think we need to go through that again. So now it's time for my final score for the movie, and on a scale of 1 to 10, this is definitely going to be a 7. It's a satisfying conclusion to the original trilogy, and while it may not have been able to improve on previous installments, it was entertaining enough to be on point with its predecessors. I'm also going to give the original trilogy as a whole a score out of 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, it's going to be a 7. It may not be perfect, but it was entertaining enough to be good. So that's all I have to say about Transformers Dark of the Moon. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. My details will be in the description and at the end of the video. Next time we will be looking at the 4th film in the Transformers series, and more of a standalone sequel than a direct sequel, Transformers Age of Extinction. And to be honest, I didn't like it, and I'll explain why in the next video. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.